You're not afraid of failing. You're afraid of what other people will think of you if you fail. But if you're afraid of that, imagine what they think of you when you aren't even trying. Oh yeah, they aren't.
I'm such a dick sometimes.
Is it strange to hear your angry toilet tweets read back to you now in the cold, harsh light of day? God, that was a particularly difficult poo I was cracking out there.
Real talk, the tweets that I have, people don't know this, but the tweets are notes to self.
Yep.
So they're just directed at me so that I can look back on them and be reminders of hey, don't do that. And so I think to myself, man, I'm afraid of doing this. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm afraid of what this person's going to think about me. Because if I were to be able to fail in quiet, in complete isolation, then I wouldn't care. And then I think, well, what if I don't succeed in public? What do they think then? Nothing, right? They don't think about me at all. And so obviously that comes from the perspective of seeking to gain approval and attention from others anyway. So it's listen, if you're insecure, which everybody is, let's be real, you might as well use the insecurity to get something out of it, right? One of my favorite things about entrepreneurship is use what you've got. And so a lot of people think that they need to fix their conditions in order to get the perfect conditions before they start. But the perfect condition is whatever one you're in, because it gives you whatever assets you have. That's the cards that you're dealt.
The thing that people don't fucking get. The biggest misunderstanding about David Goggins of all time. It's whether you believe in God or not, I do. He put this lab rat, which is me, on this planet and said, let me fucking see what a beat up, abused kid who can barely learn, who has a twisted body, messed up genetics, sickle cell, this and that. Let me give him everything that pretty much disqualifies you from the military. But back then, it wasn't estrus. And let's put him in this and see what comes out of it. So to do that, friction. You don't wake up in the morning time and go to the coffee maker. Matter of fact, sometimes you don't even sleep. What it requires is when I'm at 2 o'clock it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and my brain is thinking about a fucking drug. And I gotta get up and look in my book to see what that drug is, how I remember it. And this is every day of my fucking life. That's why when I train a fighter or I train someone, I'm like, you have no fucking idea how great you really are. Because you are using such minimal of what you have. And if people can learn to focus, this is what's possible. While it may not be pretty, people want to do a documentary on me. I go, no. I don't want you to do a documentary on me. Because I will have normal, everyday people picking me apart. Oh, his life is miserable. Who wants to live like that? It's crazy how it's almost like he's sick, he's psychotic. The most frustrating thing in the world for me is when normal people judge a man like myself on what it really
self-esteem comes from.
Gosh, I wish we knew. I think the first thing to say is it's a bit of a mystery. If we knew how to bottle this stuff, if you look at the differences between what human beings achieve, it isn't easily explained by intelligence. Everything shows that broadly speaking, intelligence accounts for the smaller portion of the massive differences in achievement. And that's galling. It isn't what the school system is really about. And I think, a lot of achievement is about imagination, and it's about breaking through obstacles to dreaming of a better world, a more interesting world, etc. Self-esteem is somewhere in that story, because I think self-esteem is about saying, it might happen with me. This thing I could be in charge of this thing, whatever it is. And I think class plays a role here. One of the great injuries of a working class background is that it tends to give you a sense that other people are controlling the world, and you have to negotiate the obstacles they put in place, but you don't get to remove those obstacles. You just have to work your way around them. Yeah. Typical middle class upbringing, middle class in the UK sense, you get imbued with a feeling that human beings like you make the world, and that raises your self-esteem.
Don't half-ass it mean to you?
If you're going to do it, do it. Say what you can do. Do what you say. If you can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over-leverage yourself. Don't over-leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're going to try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it. Find out. Come out the other side. Don't leave it and go, ooh, if I just would. That keeps me up at night. I think it keeps a lot of us up at night. When you half-ass something and you just don't know whether you failed or succeeded, got what you want or didn't get what you want. Finding out and looking in the mirror and going, I didn't half-ass it. I went all the way. I found out, and that ain't for me. Or I found out, and you damn right that is for me. That's a great place to get to. But the limbo of not knowing, if you half-ass something, the limbo of going, I hedged my bet.
What could have happened?
You don't know.
Were you surprised when your dad said that to you?
Yeah.
When you were going to take a pivot in life trajectory?
I wouldn't have been in the top 100 things I thought he would have said. I was fully stabilizing in that moment. As I said, I called Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. He'll have had a beer. He's already had dinner. Not Monday, because that's the first day of the work week. He'll be a little more stressed. Catch him at Tuesday. When I unload this that I don't want to go to law school, I want to go to film school. And I really thought he was going to go, you want to do what? Again, the family I grew up in, the idea of me thinking that the idea of going into film was like very Saturday idea.
But I want to start there. Like, what does it feel like when you're winning, you're succeeding, but then you all of a sudden go, I've still got monsters in me?
You know, when you say and use the word monsters, just for clarity so people can understand, of course we're talking about the different levels to you, right? And within the levels that I've discovered in myself, of myself, you know, you got your good versions and your bad versions. And the bad versions I refer to as monsters, but just because they're bad doesn't mean they don't have good quality. And when you're winning and you're succeeding, there's this idea that everything is right. There's this idea that perfection has now presented itself and life moving forward is going to be just an easy road. And it's not until you're in that position where you expect perfection and you think that you start to see the true problems and flaws really present themselves. And, you know, my monsters have been masked and disguised in various different ways, but I've been able to pinpoint them throughout the years because some of those monsters grew, got stronger, developed. You're talking about the world of an ego, the idea of who you think you are versus what you are, or the idea of expectations and needs as to what you feel you need and what you have to have. That's a monster that's feeding that, right? That
when we
engine.
think it's just about us, when it's not about anyone else, you're always gonna be against each other. But as soon as there's a higher purpose, or there's a commitment, or there's a value that supersedes that.
An understanding.
An understanding, yeah.
An understanding that comes with the world of communication and great dialogue. I can, you know, in having this conversation, I can point to so many examples of how it's so hard to see the good if you're only seeing the bad. Like, there's so many people that struggle with what their version of success is because they're looking at someone else's. There's so many people that struggle with their world of relationship because they're judging theirs based off of someone else's, right? And when you're constantly in the space of not realizing or noticing your world, your reality, because you're living in what appears to be someone else's, well, your shit is never gonna be right. It's never gonna be right?
Yeah,
like if I'm looking at everybody's relationship with their father and I'm going, I want that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not embracing the world of good that came from my dad. I could have went down the road that my dad did. I could have easily been wrapped into the same world of, you know, drugs, gangs, violence.
That shifts, that actually helped you expand your energy, right?
Yes.
Like you said, you're serving more people right now. But even when you are traveling, you're moving around the world, you're coaching sports teams, you're coaching individuals, you have groups.
Yeah.
How have you been able to expand your energy year over year? What are some of the simple tweaks that people could do today while they wait for this amazing product?
Well, there's products now, they have them now,
yeah.
but for me, it's, I was a vegan for about 10 years. And then I ate fish and salad basically for about 12 years. So dietarily, I've always tried to make sure that what I had was as clean as possible to start with. Then I train like a crazy person. I do oxygen restriction training type of thing so that my capacity is strong. But I'm also trying to train so I can literally do 2.5 marathons on a day, and another day, another day, another day. For me, the most important thing I think has been for me is, believe it or not, has been a combination of hot and cold temperatures that I use. Like I start every single morning in the freezing water, and I do it for 2 reasons. One is it moves every bit of blood in your body and all your lymph in your system, but also kind of train my brain to say, when I say go, we go. There's never a day I look forward to going in the water. And I have, 56 degree water here, but in my home in Sun Valley, I go literally through the snow and get in the river, which is, like 39, 40 degrees in the wintertime. But you feel so incredible when you come out, but also it's just training your brain saying, I say go, we go. It's not like, oh, I'm not ready yet, or let me wait 5 minutes. And that becomes a discipline in your mind for everything else in your life, which is huge. And then, believe it or not, saunas, I just in the last year I've started using saunas. They see a huge change. I've always known about saunas. I use them every now and then. But there's so much research on it now, and I have it in the book that'll blow your mind. Like 4 days a week in the sauna for just 20 minutes at 160 degrees plus, whether it's a laser type sauna, red sauna going in, or a traditional one, will absolutely change your health in more ways than you can imagine. Like people that don't really work out, I can get them to do this now. And they can just go sit in the sauna, but what happens, it reduces your chance of a heart attack by over 51%.
I read that, yeah, wow.
It reduces your chance of a stroke by 62%. Your overall health is reduced.